Hello, my name is Muhammad Abdullah, and today I will take you on a journey to the end of times according to science and mathematics. So here's going to be our agenda. At first, we're going to be analyzing what is going to be the method of our analysis of the end of times. Obviously, we have history, we have religion, and then we also have science. Okay, and then we're going to be discussing about the possible causes that may cause the destruction and take us to the end of times. And then we're going to be talking about the most interesting part of this presentation, which is going to be the timeline of the future of Earth and our universe, which will give us some sort of an idea of the uh, times when multiple events can occur or will occur. So, what is the method of our analysis? Obviously, we can go to history, we can go to religion, and then we can also go to science. And this concept of Armageddon is actually very prevalent in many cultures and religions, and there's not a lot of proof for their claims. That's the problem. There's not a lot of proof of their claims. But science, however, does give us some sort of an idea about what might actually happen in the end of times and how. And on top of that, everything that science mentions, especially as it relates to this topic of the end of times, is backed up by evidence, logical evidence that we can understand, and full explanation of how it might actually happen as well. So, some of the possible causes that may cause our end are chemical and biological warfare, nuclear warfare, and a nuclear detonation from one of today's more powerful weapons could actually cause a fatality rate of 80 to 95% in the blast zone, stretching out to a radius of about 4 kilometers. And although severe damage could actually reach a whopping 6 times as far, 6 times as far. Seriously. But it isn't just a nuclear explosion that we need to worry about. We need to see. What this explosion actually leaves behind is also really important for us to examine. And it actually poses more of a problem because there is a chance of nuclear winter that may arise when the clouds of dust and smoke released because of the explosion can cover the whole planet and block the sun and can cause the temperatures to drop significantly on Earth. And then biological and chemical warfare is also one more thing to worry about. Okay, a lot of governments are still using chlorine weapons and weapons with gas and stuff like that um, to in their armies in their wars as well for warfare, and the weaponized toxic chemicals that actually cause a tremendous harm to a localized target. Say, I mean, if the toxin, for example, were released into the air or into the water supply, for example, it can cause a lot of people and a lot of lives to actually die off. And then advances in synthetic biology, for example, have made very real possibility that crazy people can invest into harmful pathogens for weaponization, or it might be that innocent uh, re- 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 researchers accidentally released a lethal infectious bug out into the world, which can also cause a lot of people to die off. And then catastrophic climate change due to the excessive carbon emissions from different factories and stuff can also cause a lot of people to die. And then pandemics can cause a big threat as well. Any new infectious disease could cause another outbreak, and we just came out of the COVID-19 outbreak, and humanity, as we know, doesn't have a lot of endurance to endure another pandemic. And the most interesting part is that every 120,000 years or so, a massive asteroid hits Earth and causes a global catastrophe. And scientists believe that dinosaurs were actually wiped out like this. And if an asteroid, even 1/10 of the size of the one that actually caused the extinction of dinosaurs, hit the Earth today, the results would be devastating. And scientists estimate that it could release enough particles because of the explosion that can again block the sun and engulf the whole Earth into dust, and it can cause famine, killing hundreds of millions of people. And NASA announced in 2011 that it had mapped out more than 90% of objects in the space which are larger than 1 kilometer, and there is no chance of it ever hitting Earth, but there's still a lot that we don't know about the smaller objects in the space, and so it still poses a global, it still poses a harm for a global catastrophe. And then artificial intelligence also poses a major threat because it is actually expected, and researchers actually say that there's a 50% chance of AI being able to perform most tasks as well, or even better than humans. And by 2050, there's at least 5% chance that AI could actually surpass humans. But the thing is, the story of the end of times doesn't sound that much interesting if you don't know, or if you don't have an expected time of events and when they're going to occur, or events, or something that actually starts the Armageddon. So now we will look at the actual timeline of the life of Earth, and our solar system, and also our universe, and see what astronomy and science has to say about the end of times. So first, in the from 2022 to the next 500 years, humanity is going to be in the Anthropocene or Anthropocene era, and anthro means human, and scene actually means new, from Latin, and which basically means that the changes that are caused by man, new changes that are caused by man, nothing will remain the same as humans will continue to alter nature and its balance. And it is expected that in the next 1,000 years or so, the Earth's magnetic field is going to flip. Okay. And when the Earth's magnetic field actually flips, it actually weakens, but doesn't completely disappear. But the weakening of of the magnetic field as it undergoes a complete flip would make the Earth more vulnerable to the effects of our solar radiation. And now we're hitting 5,000 years or so. After 5,000 years or so, it is expected that a major asteroid will hit Earth. Not a major one, but a medium asteroid will hit Earth. And in the next 10,000 years or so, we scientists expect that because of the climate change, Sahara Desert will become tropical. Okay, and melting of glaciers as well can cause massive climate changes. Okay. And scientists actually believe that similar thing happened in the northern part of the Earth, where they actually find fossil fuels, which could only have been formed in the tropical area because the dinosaurs could not ever have survived in harsh cold temperatures. And now we're hitting 50,000 years or so. After 50,000 years from today, the interglacial period will end. An interglacial period is a period between the ice ages when glaciers thaw and and the oceans rise. And that would mean if the interglacial period is ending after 50,000 years, a lot of freezing will begin. And now we're hitting 100,000 years. After 100,000 years, it is expected that a supervolcanic eruption will occur, and again, it'll engulf the whole Earth into dust and block the sun and cause the temperatures to decrease. And in the next 1 million years or so, Betelgeuse, the nearby star, is expected to go supernova. And in the next 10 million years or so, it is expected that a deadly gamma ray burst from a nearby star may actually wipe out life on Earth. After 15 million years or so, Mars' moons will become a ring, and Saturn's rings will completely vanish. And this is the time when, after 50 million years, a big, huge asteroid will hit Earth and can and can change the course of human history. And this is the same kind of an asteroid which actually wiped out all the dinosaurs. And because of that asteroid, after 150 million years, or 100 million years after the hitting of the asteroid, okay, a new supercontinent may form, just like Pangea in the beginning of Earth, the in the beginning of life on Earth. And in the next 500 million years or so, Sun will increase its luminosity and will start to run out of fuel, out of the out of hydrogen and out of hydrogen. And obviously, because the sun will start to run out of fuel, it'll start to expand. And at this point, the photosynthesis on Earth will completely cease. In the next 1 billion years, after 1 billion years, all life will vanish and oceans will evaporate due to the intense heat from the slowly expanding sun. And because the outer layers of the sun will keep expanding, after 5 billion years or so, the sun is expected to become a red giant and it'll engulf Mercury and also Venus, and some say also Earth. In the next 10 billion years or so, the sun will burst and Earth will completely get destroyed because of the burst as well, and the sun will become a white dwarf. And then it'll actually remain a white dwarf for a very, very long time. In the next 500 billion years or so, sun will cool off and will remain a white dwarf, slowly turning into a black dwarf. After 5 trillion years or so, all stars will begin to die off. After 50 trillion years or so, the red dwarfs will begin to die off as well. And this is a time when the degenerate era will begin, where only white dwarfs will be there. Okay. And occasional white dwarfs will collide to create more stars. Or neutron stars may start to orbit around each other and collide here and there. But black holes will begin to eat away the stray matter now. And because the only thing present will be only black holes in the end of times, or more so, only black holes everywhere, because it'll eat away any matter which is left behind. So there will only be black holes left. And because space is actually accelerating, it is expected that the space and time will actually start to expand faster than the speed of light. And that would mean that all the information of the cosmos will completely be locked up, will completely be locked away, never to be found. And this is still unproven science, but but scientists believe that the matter which will remain in the white dwarfs or the black dwarfs will slowly begin to radiate out into nothing and decay into radiation. And because the only thing left will be only black holes, this is the final stage where even black holes will decay into radiation as well, according to the Hawking effect, and then explode in a violent explosion. And the universe, as we know it, people, will come to its final demise. And as Neil deGrasse Tyson says, the universe will end not with a bang, but with a whimper, and not in fire, but in ice. Thank you very much for listening.